I have three words: reclaim, heal, set free. You may be wondering, okay, what are those words? What are the significance of those words? Who are you? And what are you talking about? All valid questions, which I will answer. So, those three words: reclaim, heal, set free, those make up the framework for my journey. My name is Dr. Jaleesa. I am a licensed physical therapist. I have a doctorate in physical therapy. However, that is not really what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm actually here to talk to you about my journey and actually the beginning of my journey. I mentioned those three words: reclaim, heal, set free. And I believe that I've been placed here to help my people, Black people, to reclaim our knowledge of ourselves, our cultural practices, our sacred rights, and essentially our power to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically, and to eventually set ourselves free. To not request our freedom, to not ask for our freedom, to not protest for our freedom, but to set ourselves free because we have reclaimed who we are and because we have healed. And so I can't help anybody else go on this journey if I don't go on the journey first. And so this is the beginning of that journey. And one thing that stands out to me that is important to talk about regarding reclaiming is spirituality. Yeah, let's talk about spirituality. Woo! I know it's a lot going on. I know Beyonce came out with her Black is King and everybody's on fire regarding that. I'm not talking about that today. However, just in general, I want to talk about my journey as far as where I'm going spiritually. So I did not mention this before. Not only am I a physical therapist, I am a licensed minister. I have been raised in the Black church. I was raised in a Black Baptist church. I now attend a Black non-denominational church, and I am very intentional on saying that I attend Black church. It is important to me. It may not be important to you, but it is important to me. And I was licensed in the current church that I attend now, and I've been licensed for 6 years, since 2014. However, probably for the last 7 years, I've really been feeling a tug, an incessant pull to dive into the knowledge of who we are as Black people. And you can't dive into the knowledge from the lens that has been given to us, especially when you talk about religion and this form of Christianity that is widely practiced in the United States, but all over the world, and even on the continent of Africa. And so being that I was raised in that type of tradition and in that type of environment, it created a tension when I began to feel this pull to learn about the truth, right? Learn about the history, learn about my culture, learn about my people, learn about traditional African spirituality. And that requires you to go to the origins, not the Bible. It requires you to go to the origins of the people, of who we are. It requires you to go way back to our primitive ancestors. And so I'm not a formal scholar in this topic or in these topics, but I do know formal scholars, people who have been researching for well over 50 years about ancient African history, people who've been researching for 20, 30 years and have dedicated their life's work to African traditional religion, to Pan-Africanism and the like. And so I do my own study, I do my own research, and I am learning. And that is another reason why I'm here, because I am learning and I want to be able to help people as I learn and share what I learn, and in turn to learn from those who may have more knowledge than I, right? I'm hoping to be able to create a community of people who are on this journey together, who have maybe been raised in a certain way and have been questioning, have been wondering, have felt a tension, have felt a pull, but have been scared to step out and pursue it, have been scared to embark upon it, because you can feel lonely, you can feel like nobody understands, you can feel like you'll be criticized and even rejected, and be accused of, following the devil or something like that. And I totally understand, because I have felt that way, and I've been afraid to open up to my family, and I've been afraid to open up to my friends, and been afraid to open up to my church family. And most people know that I'm absolutely pro-Black. Like, there's no question in anybody's mind. Like, if you're gonna talk about some Blackness and even some Africanness, you know, Jaleesa's gonna be somewhere in in that conversation. She's gonna have something to do with that, at least in my local community. However, it's always still been in this guise of what's been accepted, you know, especially because I am or have been raised Christian. And so it's hard, and it's a hard thing to think about stepping out, right? And thinking about going against the grain, and think about how it might rub people the wrong way for whatever reason, okay? For whatever reason, and even yourself. You know, for me, it was like, man, you know, am I gonna go to hell? Shoot, like, I ain't trying to go to hell, you know, but I'm trying to understand, and I'm trying to learn the truth, and some stuff don't make no sense over here. And so I just need to be real about it not making sense over here, and I need to have a real conversation with some people about this stuff not making sense over here. Okay, and we're not about to just brush it under the rug. We're not about to just try to explain it away. We're gonna get to the bottom of it, because there's a reason why it doesn't make sense, and there's a reason why things have been covered up, and there's a reason why we have been deceived and lied to. There's a reason why our ancestors were told not to do certain things anymore. There's a reason why the things of African culture have been labeled as demonic. There's a reason for this stuff, and it's not just by happenstance. It was very intentional and strategic. And so I am here to fight that. Anything that has been intentional and strategically done against my people, my ancestors, and subsequently myself, I'm going to buck against that. I'm not only going to buck against it, I'm going to fight it, I'm going to tear it down, and I'm going to bring out the truth. And that's just where I am with it. I don't have time to be playing games. We don't have time to be afraid of certain things. We don't have time for that. We don't have time, because if you really think about it, some stuff just doesn't make sense. You know, and it's time for us to understand and have actual knowledge of the truth. And that just starts with going back to the origins. That starts with peeling back the layers. That starts with looking at the attacks that were done against our people. And we can't say that, oh, we were raped and pillaged and colonized, and they attacked us in every other way, but they're not going to attack our spirituality, right? Or that we feel like Black people had to be enslaved in order to, quote unquote, be Christians. We feel like white people had to come and to expose us to, quote unquote, God. Nah, player. No, absolutely not. African people knew who God was well before white people were even in existence, period. And if you don't have that, then you are absolutely perpetuating the lie, unfortunately, that has been given to us. And so that's the journey that I'm on. I'm passionate about it. I get a little preachy. I am a preacher. I get a little preachy about it. And to that point, yes, I do feel like I've been called to preach. I feel like I've been called to speak. Does that mean that I've absolutely been called as a minister? I don't know. I think maybe it's just because that's the space that I was in, the environment that I was in. And so whatever calling that was seen on my life, that was the only space that I had to operate that in, because we don't have a real strong foundation and knowledge about what a calling really means, what a priest or a priestess or a prophet or a prophetess, what that looks like in the original state of African spirituality. And so with this channel, with these recordings, with these offerings, that I'm sharing with you, my goal is to be able to shed light on contradictions, to shed light and to have real discussion about these things without any judgment or fear, but to be open and honest about these things, as well as to talk about the inconsistencies within Christianity. I know there's other religions, other world religions, but I haven't practiced them. I don't have a personal background in them. So I'm strictly talking about Christianity and those inconsistencies, and as well as talking about the history about Christianity, right? Because that's necessary. Because if you really feel that Europeans brought Christianity to African people, that's a lie. It's a lie. Don't believe that. It's a lie. It is a lie. If you do not know that Christianity has origins in African traditions, then we have to talk about that, because it does. Egyptian mythology and Judaism, to be exact. It's true. I know the Egyptians have been displayed and characterized as the ultimate enemies against God's people, but in all actuality, Egyptian mythology is considered among theologians to be the mother of Christianity. We don't know that. They don't tell us that, right? Why? Think about it. So that's what I'm here to do. I can go on, and I'm not. But I hope that I'm able to have a community of people, to have a dialogue, a discussion, to learn and to grow, and to continue on this path to reclaim, heal, and set free. Until next time.